Max, which line meeting do you go to this week?
Yeah, I don't know. We still got to figure that one out. I did a review with the forwards already, so went through a few things there, and I guess I'll wait and find out.
What was the takeout from your performance from in the meeting?
In the meeting, we haven't done individuals yet. That was just more of like a team review. But I suppose later today I'll find out how it went.
How much forward time have you actually played through your free career?
Not a lot, if I'm being honest. I remember playing a fair bit, maybe under 12s, 13s, 14s, and then ever since then played a little bit of midfield and then mainly down back.
You ever kicked 3 goals before at any age?
Mate, not after about the age of 13, nah.
So Nixie said it was your idea. Can you just give us some clarity on where it stemmed from, I suppose, where it was birthed, this idea of you playing up the ground?
Yeah, obviously Vlosten's a really good player, and I kind of thought of it as a learning curve for me. You know, he's probably someone that I model my game off, so the ability for me to go forward and kind of play a tagging role on him, kind of figure out what he's doing, how he gets so much of the ball, how he intercepts so well. So, I thought it was a good learning opportunity for me, and I was more than happy to take it.
Is it something you'd like to do a bit more of?
Yeah, of course. I don't see why not. You know, I really enjoyed playing up the ground a little bit more. It was a bit of a change. They say a change is as good as a holiday, so I was happy with it.
What was the feedback from some of your teammates? Did any of the more permanent forwards kind of give you any words afterwards or anything like that?
A lot of encouragement. I obviously needed their help out a lot out there in terms of positioning and leading and stuff like that. So the likes of Tex Walker, Darcy Fogarty, Phil Thorpe, I could go through the whole forward line, Rochelle, Kesey, but their ability to coach me out there was a credit to them and made my job a lot easier.
What about your dad, mate? He played a lot of time up forward. Has he been offering any advice?
Yeah, well, he's been taking credit for all the goal kicking, but no, not really. He kind of stays out of it now, but I remember growing up, he obviously coached me a fair bit, and I wouldn't be where I am today without him.
What was when you go to Nixie and say, I want to play up forward, what was that process like for you? Is it a thing where you're not sure how he's going to react, or were you confident that he was going to say, yeah, I'm happy to take one of my best defenders into the forward line?
No, it was a pretty casual conversation, to be honest. He kind of threw the idea out there, and I said I'm more than happy to play forward. If the time's ever there and you need me to play a role, I'll be more than happy to do it. And obviously the opportunity came up this week, and he asked, and I said, yeah, I'm more than happy to do it.
Have you got stuck into Rash letting him know you're now ahead of him in the forward pecking order, given?
Nah, of course not. He still definitely got me covered.
How different is it? I mean, it sounds like a silly question, but how different is it just having such a significant role change at an AFL level game when you haven't had that experience since you were 13?
Yeah, obviously the game's completely different from the other side, but I've learned a few tricks along my time as a defender. I've played on the best forwards in the comp most weeks, so learning about what they do, what's hard to play on as a defender, and I tried to implement that as best as I could.
You've done a couple of defensive roles on midfielders as well. Do you think, is that an area you'd like to spend more time in as well? Do you think you could be a player that could potentially sort of be a bit of a utility and play it in every part of the ground?
Yeah, of course. That kind of excites me. The opportunity to do different things each week, whether that be in the midfield, down back, or forward. More than happy to play wherever. I guess a question for Nixie to answer.
In saying that, do you have a preferred role that bigger picture? Is there a preferred role that you'd like to play specifically?
Not really. I think currently right now I've played most of my footy down back, so probably the most confident there, but in the future hopefully a bit more midfield and forward time. Happy to do whatever as long as I'm playing.
Was Vlosten surprised to see you lining up alongside?
I think he's definitely surprised I came to him, but I don't think he was surprised that a run with role was coming his way.
Did he handle it better than Tom Lynch?
No, they were both very good about it. Vlosten, by the end of the game, he was giving me a few tips on how to be a forward as well. So, he's a good guy.
What was he saying?
Just a few things about, come on, mate, you can tick up there and stuff. So, it's all in good fun, and appreciated the opportunity.
What did you make of Dan Kern's game? Obviously, you and Dan got the post-match interview, and he had some incredible moments on the weekend. As another young player, what have you made of his breakout, especially over the weekend?
Yeah, he's a star. I don't think anyone was surprised from internally here at the club. We've seen what he's been able to do at training, and he's been doing it for a long time. So it was only a matter of time before he started doing it out in the field. And I think he's had a good season all year, really. But for him to get best on ground on the weekend, in my eyes, it was a credit to him, and really proud of how he went.
Just on Josh, how's Rash going? Is he going to be all right for the weekend?
Yeah, he's going really well at the moment. I think it was just a bit of general soreness, and that was all it was. Yeah.
How do you? You guys must love his competitiveness. So when you see him a bit filthy to come off, I'm sure as teammates you probably love that, because that's the competitor in him, and that's probably what makes him such a good player as well.
Nah, you're 100% right there with Rash. One of the main things I love about him and love playing with him is because he's a real competitor and he doesn't give up easily. So to see that he was obviously pretty flat, that he was subbed off is a good thing, and I'm sure he'll be back this week playing really well.
Was there any surprise from the Tom Lynch incident? We don't see that kind of stuff necessarily as much across the AFL anymore, those kind of incidents. Was there any surprise from the playing group or yourself when you kind of saw that and the wash-up of it?
Of course there's a little bit of surprise, but the main thing we just wanted to focus on was looking after Butsy, and then we'll just leave the rest of the tribunal.
How was Butsy after it?
Really good. Butsy's a really good guy. Not much really phases him, so he's done well.
Yeah. Is there you go to Nixie and say there's Trent Rivers or Christian Salem or someone similar to Boston, can I have another job this week?
Yeah, maybe sneak forward again, not too sure, but they've got dangerous players across the whole ground really, in the midfield, up forward and down back, so it'll be interesting to see where we go this week, but we're looking forward to the match up against the D's and hopefully we get the win.
How much confidence do you think the group is sort of experiencing right now? Another win on the G, that's a couple this year as well. Are you noticing a big difference in confidence and belief maybe this year compared to this time?
Yeah, I think it's coming off the back of consistency. I think we're all executing our roles how we want to, and that's, I guess, leading to the wins on the field. So, I guess you could say confidence, but we like to say competence. So, happy with what we're doing. We feel like we're doing the work. So,
Speaking of consistency, mate, how do you feel like you're tracking 3 years in? I think you only missed one game. You're now playing all these different roles. It's very reliable. Have you? Has it panned out even better than you'd expected when you got drafted?
I'd say so. I'm pretty grateful that my body's holding up how it is, and I have, touch wood, haven't had any major injuries yet. So hopefully that continues to happen, and I can stay on the field and keep playing some good footy. But I'll just keep trying to stay on top of my recovery and getting the little things right to make sure I can keep playing.
What's been, or who have been, key to that consistency, do you think?
Well, there's experienced people around the whole club, so that stems from coaches. But I think when it comes to players, Mitch Hinge is probably someone that's kind of looked after me a lot as an older player, and Rory Laird. So they're both really good professionals and do all the little things 100%. So I kind of try and stick with them, and they show me the ropes.